to Season 4, Episode 3 of Discover the Finger Lakes. And I welcome all. I think this episode you're really going to enjoy. It's a little bit different. Not really, but here lately we've been looking at waterfalls. And it's time to change up things a little bit. And I think you're really going to like this. The research I found here was really great. I also want to thank John Buxton, the artist who allowed me to show a painting of his. I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And so now, what we're going to discuss is, if you saw the very beginning of this episode, the monuments I showed you, the one where it said Kashong and the other one Canandaigua, those are actual locations of Seneca Iroquois villages that were there until 1779, when Clinton and Sullivan came through and torched everything. And so that's what this episode is pretty much about. We're going to talk about Clinton and Sullivan, just a brief mention of them, and then we're going to talk about Catharine's Town, which is in Montour Falls, and then we are going to take a little bike ride on the Catharine Valley Trail to a memorial that was set up for Catharine Montour, or Queen Montour. So, and then you cannot come to Montour Falls without taking a look at the waterfall. I've been here before and showed you the waterfall. We're going to take a look at it one more time, because that has a lot of significance to this area. So, with that in mind, let's get the episode on going. Alright. Just to break down on what the Sullivan and Clinton expedition was, I'm going to read something to you. It says, the Sullivan and Clinton expedition, ordered by General George Washington, would clear out the British allied tribes in the region and destroy the settlement of Catharine's Town, the location where I'm at right now. Forcing Queen Catharine and her people to flee for the safety of the British at Fort Niagara in Canada. So, and there is places all over New York, and also I've been to one of them there in Geneva, Canada Saga, I guess that's how you pronounce it. I've been there filming. That was one of the places, and I think that was the capital in the area. And so, let me show you a map right here. Okay, so on this map here, it shows the route of the Clinton-Sullivan campaign, and they came down from Pennsylvania, where after Fort Sullivan, as you see, was the Battle of Newtown, and we're going to go to the Battle of Newtown sometime. I don't know when. But if you notice, north of Newtown is Catharine's Town, and that is where we are at today. Okay, Catharine's Town was a Seneca village named informally for a prominent Seneca woman, Catharine Montour. It was located at the south end of Seneca Lake near present-day Watkins Glen, and the towns of Catharine Montour, or Catherine, Montour, and Montour Falls, all named for Catharine Montour in what is now Schuyler County, New York. Now, Catharine's Town was destroyed by the Sullivan expedition of 1779. One of the more than 40 Iroquois villages decimated by the rebel colonial forces in retaliation for British Iroquois raids in the eastern Mohawk Valley. At the time, the town was reported to have 30 houses, fields of corn, fruit orchards, all of which were burned, in addition to the people's winter stores of corn. Now, there are some quotes from some of the soldiers who were here. From the Journal of Dr. Jabez Campbell, page 57, September 1st, 1779. This day's march was so exceeding difficult, it being totally dark and through a thick swamp, and this expecting momentarily an attack from the enemy. Our army totally unacquainted with the situation of the place and knowing the enemy were there. From the Journal of Major John Burroughs, Wednesday, September 1st. We reached this place at 11 o'clock at night. A march of 14 miles through roads that can't be described. 8 miles away was a most horrid swamp. The last 4 miles the army had to ford one creek 17 times. Mud holes were exceedingly bad. Our horses tired out. One of the thickest, most miry swamps I ever saw. Sergeant Moses Fellows. Okay, so we are standing right here. This historical sign says site of Catharine's Town destroyed in 1779 by General Sullivan, Indian name Chihuahua, after Catharine Montour, a Seneca queen. And taking a look around, I have seen in some videos, not videos, but online, I have seen a map and that somebody had up of a drawing of, they were actual longhouses. And so now in these next few pictures, illustrations, I will show you what the longhouses look like with the palisades. Okay, as you see in this illustration here that I'm showing you, these are the Iroquois longhouses, and this is just an illustration of what it could have looked like here. You have the longhouses and the villagers. You have the palisades that surrounded the village. Now, I don't know about here, but and I don't know how big Catharine's Town was, but I'm sure that they had longhouses here. Okay, now that trail probably looked a little familiar to you. That was the Catharine Valley Trail. And when I came here on this trail the first time, I didn't realize this was here. This just feels so peaceful to me right here. But we are going to talk about Catharine Montour, all right? So I got a picture. I was able to borrow a picture from an artist named John Buxton. And here's the picture right here. Now this picture is not an actual picture of Catharine Montour or her son Andrew, but this is something that she could have looked like in this picture. And so it's kind of a neat picture, I think. So anyway, we are here at the memorial. So, but first let's talk about Catharine Montour. Okay, here's some more. Now Catharine Montour married a Seneca Indian chief named Tillamont. I hope I pronounced that right. Also known as Thomas Hudson, who was killed in 1760 by a rival tribe. He was hunting, his hunting lands encompassed the southern tip of Seneca Lake and the village known as Chiquagua. After his death, Catharine assumed leadership of the village and its close to 300 inhabitants. The village was soon to become known as Catharine's Town to early travelers and soldiers passing through. It consisted of some 30 to 50 houses, situated in very fertile land. And I mentioned that earlier. Catharine's Town was also situated along a creek known as Catharine's Creek. I've mentioned that earlier. And so, right here is her memorial. And they don't know if she is buried here or not. But let's take a look at the memorial, all right? Wow, this is nice here. Now that is a mound, but it is not for certain, you know, if she's buried here or not. But and they made looks like the mound is shaped as a star, maybe. You have a point there, a point here, a point there, a point over there, and another point right there. It kind of looks like a star. To me it does. And this is interesting to look at. In memory of Queen Catharine Montour of the Senecas, born about 1710, died February 20th, 1804. I went to view, in company with a number of gentlemen, a very remarkable fall of water which is about 1 mile above this place. Its beauty and elegance surpass almost anything I ever saw. Lieutenant Colonel Adam Hubley. Well, this concludes episode 3 of season 4, and I'm telling you, this is a wonderful, peaceful place. I really liked coming here. I also want to mention that all the links will be in the descriptions. And also, again, thanks to John Buxton for allowing me to show his artwork. Very, very nice depiction of Catherine Montour. I really think it was. So, season 4 coming up sometime in July. I will have another episode coming in July. I'm not sure what we'll do, but maybe I'll share it on my on the Facebook page. All right. Okay. So I want to say also for Brady Hill and Bianca, who I miss doing stuff with. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode.